We've now reached record highs of employment for people between the ages of 15 to 64. We're known as being very hospitable all over the world. Everybody's looking for greater diversity now. Everybody's looking for greater inclusion.
Bună ziua! Astăzi ne aflăm la un nou episod de podcast de la Student Consulting și ne vedem cu Universitatea Griffith College, care ne va povesti ce înseamnă studiile în Irlanda. Te-ai gândit până în prezent la studiile în Irlanda? Ai luat asta în considerare? Știai că în Irlanda există taxe foarte mici de școlarizare și posibilitatea obținerii unei burse, iar răspunsul de admitere poate să vină foarte devreme, chiar în 3-4 zile de la momentul în care ai trimis cererea către universitate. Așadar, astăzi l-am alături de mine pe reprezentantul Universității Griffith College, care o să-ți povestească despre care sunt costurile la ei, cum e vremea acolo, ce înseamnă procesul de admitere, ce specializări au, cum poți să obții o bursă și ce spun ceilalți studenți români care sunt deja la universitate despre experiența lor în Irlanda și, nu în ultimul rând, vom vorbi despre cum poți să obții un job la această universitate, după finalizarea acestei universități, pentru că sunt sigură că nu știai că foarte multe companii multinaționale au sediul în Irlanda. Haideți să-l cunoaștem pe reprezentantul Universității Griffith College. Hello, Ray!
Bună seara!
So you speak already Romanian.
Only a few words.
Only a few words. Ray, I know that you have already some Romanian students on campus.
Yes.
Until now. You know that in Romania, at this moment, your school and in general Ireland is considered an exotic place. I would like to ask you why a student would want to come to Ireland. Not to Griffith, to Ireland in general.
Absolutely. I think that a lot of students coming from Eastern Europe and Romania particularly, they want an education that's taught in English. And obviously with Brexit, things have got a lot more complicated with the UK, which used to be a very popular destination. Some of the other European countries like Denmark, like Netherlands, are cutting back on their programs that are being taught in English. So I think that's a really, really important point, that because Ireland is the largest English-speaking country in the EU. I think the other major reason that students will choose to study in Ireland is our links to industry and our links to the economy. Like the big companies that choose to have their European headquarters in Ireland, such as Google, Facebook, Oracle, LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter. You know, it's not a coincidence that students are choosing to study in Ireland because the job opportunities and the economy is very, very strong.
Oh, this is good to know. I didn't know this information, and it's good to know for our students. You know that so after they are going to graduate from Griffith and from a school from Ireland, so there are possibilities of employment.
Huge,
okay.
Huge. The BBC published an article in August of 2023 to state that unemployment in Ireland is the lowest it's been in over 21 years, and that we've now reached record highs of employment for people between the ages of 15 to 64, and also record highs for female employment in the state as well. So the opportunities are there for students, and obviously for Romanian students, there's no visa restrictions. They can stay as long as they like, you know, and contribute to Irish society, and some will eventually settle there and spend the rest of their lives there, hopefully.
This is good to know. So it's welcoming. So Ireland is welcoming European students.
Very much so. Like, we're known as being very hospitable all over the world. We're known for our sense of humour. We're known for our love of, you know, partying, our love of getting to know people, and yeah, Ireland is a very welcoming society.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about welcoming, how is the weather there?
So a little bit similar to Bucharest right now. The major difference with Ireland, with the climate in Ireland, is it never gets as cold as it would here in Romania, but it also equally never gets as hot. So we have what's known as a maritime climate, so it would be fairly mild. So during the winter, yes, it can get to -4, -5 degrees, but probably not much lower than that. and during the summer, probably our maximum would be around 30 degrees during the summer months. So being on the west coast of Europe, we are an island. It can be windy at times, and we do get our fair share of rain, but we get a lot of sunshine, and you know, it's the rain helps as well to make the country green. So I don't think it rains as heavily as it would here in Romania, but I think maybe it rains a little bit more often.
Before to ask you questions about your school, about Griffith, what I want to focus or to underline is the fact that going in Ireland, as at this moment there are not so many students, European students who are going there. I know there are students who are going, but there are not like so many students. This is a plus, this is an advantage, because when they are going to graduate the university, then the market, the employment market is not so crowded like in Netherlands, for example, or in Italy or in Spain. So this is also an opportunity, it's a plus coming to you.
Very much so. Like both universities, colleges and employers, everybody's looking for greater diversity now. Everybody's looking for greater inclusion. So, you know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe there was a certain nationality of student that was dominating studying abroad. Now we're seeing diversity, not just in terms of nationality, but diversity in terms of programs. So seeing Romanian students that are interested in careers in film and TV or careers in the music industry. It's not like it was 20 years ago where everybody wanted to study a business degree.
I understand. What can you tell me about Griffith College? What kind of programs do you have in English?
Yeah, so we have a range
for undergraduate, I mean.
Yeah, so we have a range of programs in different faculties. So we have 7 different faculties. So we have a range of programs in business, we have creative arts and screen media, journalism and media communications, music production, audio and music technology, animation, creative technologies and digital art. We have law. We're actually the #1 ranked law school in Ireland right now, ahead of all the state universities. We have a range of design programs and we have computer science. So we've a vast range. The programs that we don't do medicine, we don't do engineering at Griffith College.
Okay, so you have a range of programs in English. The duration of the programs are 3 years, and I know that the computer science is 4 years.
Yeah, so computer science is our only 4-year program.
Why is that?
Because in the 3rd year, there's a paid internship where they would go to work for the company for 6 months as part of their bachelor's degree. All of our other programs are 3 years bachelor's degrees. And that differs a little bit from the state universities because most of the state university degrees are 4 years. So there's another big advantage that Griffith College has where students can come and study with us and actually get their bachelor's degree and save a year's expense and save in a year's accommodation fees and things like this.
Indeed, yeah, because 1 year it costs also
Absolutely.
The cost of living, which is like 10 months or 11 months. I saw that you have as well music programs.
Yes, so we have
something specific about them because I know that you were presenting about a certain studio where students can learn and practice, and you mentioned also about some professionals that they meet there or well-known people.
Yeah, so our music programs, so we have 2 music programs. We've one in audio and music technology, and then we have 2 music production programs, one with composition. And they're actually delivered in Windmill Lane Studios, which is about a 20-minute walk from our main campus in Dublin. It's still a live recording studio, and a lot of artists are coming in and out of the doors. So in the last 6 months, people like Ellie Goulding, Gavin James, Lewis Capaldi, Lady Gaga, Adele, they've all been in recording. And last year, Bruce Springsteen actually went into one of our classrooms and invited 4 students to come out of class and to go into his recording session. So they're getting the chance to use industry standard equipment. And as I say, it's one of the top recording studios in the world. So it's a real opportunity for students who are interested in the music business to learn in the best possible way from the best possible people.
It's a great opportunity for students. I know that there is also something specific about the law programs.
Yeah, so the law program specifically, last year we won 2 awards at the Irish Education Awards. So we were awarded an award for Best Student Experience in 2023 at Griffith College, And we were also awarded the honour of being called Law School of the Year, which means we're the #1 ranked law school in Ireland, which is an amazing achievement, especially for private colleges who don't have the kind of rankings that Ivy League universities have in the USA or Russell Group universities have in the UK. So to be recognised as being the #1 law school in Ireland is something we're very, very proud of at Griffith College.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
When students are coming to study law, it's going to be Irish law?
No, so they will get the basics in law, so they will obviously do the fundamentals in law in terms of contract and tort, but they also have the opportunity to specialise. So some students will start choosing their elective modules in year 2, where they might be looking at criminology or international law, and even more so in year 3. So, and like even our range of master's programs in law, as you can see, it's a master's in international law, it's a master's in international commercial law, and it's a master's in international human rights law. So the programs, while they will be based on Irish and UK law in the beginning, obviously students can specialise, which helps them a lot when they come back to the likes of Romania or to practice anywhere around Europe, that they're familiar with more kind of EU practices.
Good to know this information. Also, now I know that the design programs, you offer something specific there. There is a event or something, I know that where they can take part. If you can tell us more about this.
Yeah, so we have 3 programs in our design faculty. We have interior architecture and design, we have fashion design, and we have graphic communication design. And each year we have what's called Griffith Creative Week, where it's a chance for students to showcase their talents to industry. So industry leaders, employers are coming in to see the work that our students are doing. And as I just mentioned, students showcasing their talent really increases their chances of getting a job. Design is probably very different to a lot of other things that people can study, because you can either design or you can't. If you're looking at a top fashion designer like Gucci or Prada or Tommy Hilfiger, they're looking for people with a real flair and a real eye for things that they want designed.
So it's a very practical program.
Absolutely. Most of our programs are. Obviously, if you're studying something like business, accounting and finance isn't that practical, or business maths and statistics isn't that practical. But a lot of our programs are very practical, like our film, TV and screen media production. Students would spend a lot of time off campus filming on location. Animation, creative technologies and digital art, you're not going to learn those sitting at a desk. It's very, very hands-on.
Indeed. I want to ask you also about the interior architecture program. It means that you can become an architect with this group?
So no, full architecture is different, because full architecture would have structural connotations involved, so engineering. So we are basically dealing with everything that's non-structural. So you're looking at all the interiors and the kind of the soft furnishings inside. So a typical example might be a hotel rings us, so the Intercontinental decide they want to design a new bar, or they want to design a new lobby area. That's something that's non-structural, and that will be something that our students, and they will be taking part in real life projects like that, but full architecture is different, and we don't offer that.
Okay, I understand. Also, I want to ask you about the business programs, because you said, that these ones are more practical, but also in the business program, I know that you are very focused on linking the students, the theoretical part, what they're learning, with the companies. What can you tell me about this subject?
Yeah, so the business programs, what we do each year, we have what's called a Careers Day. And the big companies, so the likes of your KPMG, PwC, Grant Thornton, BDO, they're coming in to meet our students. And they're talking to them about opportunities that might be there for students post-graduation. They're telling students where the gaps are. So they're telling students what they're looking for in their companies. And this really helps students to shape their future. What happens then as a result is we have 4 programs in business, and at the end of the first year, students can actually move. So they could move into a different program. So if they started off in our program for HRM, Human Resource Management, and after 1 year they decided they prefer to be in the marketing program, that's possible. So there's great flexibility within our business programs as well.
This is interesting. So I understood about the programs. Now I would like to ask you about admission requirements. in general, so students, when they are preparing for going abroad, they know that universities want to see a lot of extracurricular activities, and everyone is stressed about this subject.
Yeah.
How is in your case?
It's not at all. So what we're doing is, in our program guide, and there's a QR code where students can scan to get the most up-to-date guide, so they can get all of this information. And in here they can see really practical information aside from the programs. So you just scroll down to Romania and you can actually see the Romanian high school entry requirements.
Okay.
So
you focus more on grades.
So what we're looking for is the Romanian baccalaureate, and then students must provide a copy of their ID and also a copy of their English language certificate if they have one. So most Romanian students are studying Cambridge English, so B2 is the minimum required, aside from our law and our journalism programs where they would need B2 plus. And that's pretty much it. Now some programs have a couple of extra things, so like our music programs and our animation programs, there's a faculty interview which is done through Zoom. And if they were looking for the honours degree in our design programs, there's a portfolio requirement. But we would talk to students about that individually. The biggest thing to be aware of is that students can actually apply direct, and they can contact you and your team at Student Consulting to get information on that. There's a very straightforward link, and they would receive a conditional offer, probably pending their final high school results. They would get that offer within 3 to 4 days.
Okay, so this is good to know. I mentioned as well also at the beginning that you are very fast with the answer. Now I will ask you another question. Okay, you said that for you it's important the grade from the baccalaureate exam. I think also the school transcript, right, that they have to send?
Yeah, so we would need to see a copy of the transcripts in English, because for our admissions team, we are dealing with over 100 different nationalities of student, so they can't speak every nationality. So normally what students will provide will be a copy of their grade 11 results in English, a copy of their ID and their English language certificate, and that's enough for us to issue a conditional offer. And then it will be pending obviously their final baccalaureate, just to rubber stamp and validate their final results.
I will ask you now something if you want to answer. So regarding the extracurriculars, again, because a lot of, as you saw also tonight, a lot of students, like, they are stressed about this extracurricular. So in your admission requirements, you don't have this, like in the CV, you're not focusing on, because you don't ask as well a motivation letter, as far as I know.
So they don't have to write a fancy motivation letter or a fancy statement of purpose.
Why is that? Why not?
Because they're 17 or 18 years of age. So they can't have the experience that somebody like me maybe has, you know, to write this or to have this amazing CV. And our job is to take the pressure off kids, not to increase it. So they have enough pressure with their final exams, you know, their baccalaureate coming up in year 12. So we're trying to make the process as easy as possible, not as complicated as possible.
But might be the possibility, I'm just asking, like, knowing a lot of universities and traveling a lot, I'm just asking, there might be the possibility if the student doesn't have some extracurriculars, or if they don't learn outside their class about the subject that they want to study, maybe after the first year to say, I don't like this subject and I want to drop off from the program. Like, how is our
drop off rates will be very low.
Okay.
Because one of the great things about the program guide that we have is that in the digital version, all of these programs are hyperlinks. So students can actually click into a program and they can see what the program's all about. They can see all of the modules that they will be taught all the way through. So if you click on any program, it brings you into the bachelor's degree itself, and you can see every module you will be taught for 3 years, or in the case of computer science for 4 years. So students don't get those surprises that you're talking about. And between ourselves, between Griffith College and Student Consulting, we would make sure that the student has all the information in advance, so they don't get these shocks and, I don't like the program, you know, and then mum and dad are getting a phone call. You know, we try to avoid all that.
about the location, like before, you mentioned about the location of the university. I know that you have 3 locations.
Yeah.
One of them is Dublin, and of course everyone would like to go to Dublin.
Our main campus is in Dublin. It's in Dublin city centre. It's about a 10-minute walk from Stephen's Green, a 15-minute walk from Temple Bar. So it's a very central location in the city. And all of our programmes are being delivered in Dublin at undergraduate level. Obviously the music programmes are being taught in Windmill Lane, which is about a 20-minute walk away. In Cork, at undergraduate level, we also have the opportunity for students to study our business programmes and our computer science programmes. Cork is a much smaller city, about 300,000 people, compared with Dublin, which has about 2 million people. And then Limerick is probably the 3rd biggest city in Ireland. In Limerick, most of the programmes we're doing in Limerick are at postgraduate level, so they're not for undergraduate students.
Here I would like to ask you, because we're talking about the location, I would like to ask you, Irish people in general, how are Irish people if they are welcoming? How you accommodate international students, if you have international students?
We normally, so if I take last September as an example,
Okay.
we've about 7,000 students in total at Griffith College across the 3 campuses.
How many?
About 7,000.
7,000. Okay.
Yeah, and last year coming in, we had just over 1,600 international students. Okay, so there's a big international flavour of student at Griffith College. We wouldn't be getting this number of students if we weren't welcoming. So in Ireland, we have a saying in our own native language, which says "Céad Míle Fáilte," which means 100,000 welcomes. So we're known as being a very welcoming society. Obviously, like most countries, we're a lot more multicultural than we were 20 years ago. So you'll probably see more international people walking down the street now than you ever before in Ireland.
They can get a job if they are coming to you. They can get like a part-time job.
Absolutely. So typically what students will do is in the first year, they might take a job in a cafe or a restaurant or a bar or a hotel. But then normally in second year and going into third year especially, students are looking to take jobs more in relation to the field that they're studying. So at that stage, they're trying to build their CVs. At that stage, they're starting to think about having to write motivational letters, to get employment afterwards. But for Romanian students, there's no restrictions. So, as EU citizens, they can travel freely to Ireland. They can work freely. There's no restrictions in the amount of hours they can work. I would advise a word of caution that if you're working too much, maybe your studies are being neglected. So they have to find that balance.
This for sure, of course. Can you tell me a range of salaries or percentage per hour?
Yeah, so it depends in terms of students. So last year in 2023, Ireland had the largest or the highest minimum wage in the EU. So our minimum wage was €11.30 per hour. On the 1st of January 2024, that was increased to €12.70 per hour. So when I go to some European countries, they tell me that's nearly twice as much as the minimum wage in their country. I was recently in Slovakia, and I think the average minimum wage is about €5.50. So it's a great opportunity for students. Obviously, in terms of salaries, it depends on what type of role
they will
go into. The more specialised roles, you could be looking at 40, 50, 60,000 as a starting salary. But I would certainly be saying most students, you're probably looking at somewhere in the region of €30,000 as starting salary.
It's a good number, like for starting for students. I want to ask you as well, because we're talking about money, how much does it cost to study at your school for the undergraduate level?
Yeah, and again, in our guide, going back to saying we have this practical information, so we've all the information laid out here. So we have for our computer science and business programs, €6,000 per year. Our law, design, media programs, €7,000 per year. Film and TV and psychology, which we just launched this evening, €8,000 per year. And then our music, animation and creative technologies programs are €9,000 per year before scholarships. Okay, so
because you offer as well scholarships.
Yes, so we offer EU students a €1,000 scholarship. In the first year, it's linked to paying a deposit before the end of June in the year you're joining, and then in year 2 and year 3, it's academic merit based. So once you keep your grades above 60%.
Okay.
And because we're launching the psychology program this year, the scholarship for that program this year will be €2,000. And that again can be €2,000 in year 2 and €2,000 in year 3 as well.
You have good prices, like you have very good prices compared to what it is at this moment in Europe. So it's affordable. It's affordable, and considering what you are offering, like with all the package being an English-speaking country, English-speaking at the university, and considering as well the history of the university, so it's a good quality and a good price that you have for the university. What would be the cost if they want to come as well? Like if there is a parent now and would like to see, a part of tuition, how much costs the accommodation?
Yeah.
Like a range.
So we have our own on-campus accommodation. So if you look at the campus here, so this is our main Dublin campus, and these red brick buildings here, that's the accommodation blocks.
Oh, so it's like
so
very
it's
close.
like it's right there. It's
right
literally
there. Okay.
It's 100 meters from where I work on a daily basis. Okay.
And this is the city center, like
Yes.
nearby. Okay.
Yes.
Of Dublin. Okay.
Exactly. And then we've got 6 different types of rooms on campus. So we've got shared rooms, and then we've got, if people can afford it, King Deluxe rooms. And they would range between €200 per week for the twin shared room, up to €375 per week for a King Deluxe. In terms of typical cost of living, what we say in Dublin for parents to know, a budget of about €1,500 per month will cover everything in terms of accommodation and cost of living. Now, students are very resourceful, so they find a way to live on much less than this, and then some students are more extravagant, and they will find that €1,500 is not enough. But that will be a kind of a typical range to cover your accommodation, and then also obviously your meals and your external social life as well.
There is regarding the meals, there is any canteen or?
Yes, so on campus we have Starbucks, a canteen. We have what's called pickle. It would be like a Subway.
Okay.
And then there's hot foods, and students can buy meal plans. So they can actually. This is
very good to know.
So the students who are on campus can actually get a meal plan, and then the more you buy, the bigger the discount. So if you're buying a more extensive meal plan, you can get a bigger discount, so you're getting it for less.
And what I heard from you in the presentation, that if you go in the first year for accommodation, you can keep your accommodation for the next years.
Absolutely. So I know some universities say, you can stay on campus for 1 year.
The majority are like this.
And then you must leave, and you must. But students get happy. People get comfortable, and you're staying with friends, and they're coming back next year, and we're happy to share again. Students can stay for the full duration of the program.
Yeah, but it's also safe for students,
absolutely.
And they don't pay also travel, like take the bus or the metro or something.
Absolutely, and on that point, which I didn't mention earlier, we have 24-hour security on campus. So there's actually a gate, and then the only way to get in after 11 p.m. is with your student ID. So there is 24-hour security, which is a great comfort to parents.
Indeed, yeah, and also for students, because they make friends. They are there. They're going together also for parties or for extracurricular activities or something.
And actually, we're in the 2024 Education Awards in Ireland. We've received 13 nominations in the Education Awards. And one of those that we would really like to win is the Best Student Accommodation. So we're up for Best Student Accommodation Award, which will be a nice one to get.
What I see from everything that you presented is very similar with UK, like very organized, very structured, regarding also the accommodation, also the university.
But without the visa issues.
Yeah. Indeed, and also the prices.
And yes, and a lot less expensive.
But in terms of the structure and it's something similar, which is good.
Yeah.
Because we lack the UK system after what happened with the Brexit. So you are an alternative for them at this moment. In Romania, in general, the majority of the private schools, they are not the well-ranked schools.
Yeah.
And we Romanians in general, a lot of people, they believe that it's not a good quality to go to a private school. And all the time I'm saying to students, guys, do you know that also Harvard or the big names, they are private schools and their costs are around $80,000 per year. So Griffith, it's also a private school. Do you think there is anything left out that you would like to say to the Romanian parents or the kids?
I think the biggest thing is that they have nothing to lose by having a conversation with you and with me. You know, all they can gain is knowledge. It doesn't mean they have to change their decision. It doesn't mean they have to change their path or change their course in life. But my job isn't to tell anybody where to go, what to study, who to study with, which country. My job is to provide the right information so families can make the right decision. And I think that's what me and you should be trying to do when students and parents are consulting with us.
Indeed, yeah, to help the student to take the best decision.
Absolutely, it's their life,
Of
but
course.
we can actually give them the right information that they can make the right decision. Irrelevant is where they go to study. What's most important is they have the right information so they make a good decision.
It's something actually that I didn't ask you, like, what do you think that is the profile of the student? The profile of the student that would join you. Have to be happy at Griffith.
Yeah, I think most of the students who join us, they're looking for the more practical programs. They're looking for the programs that will get them ready. I think if you go back 20 years ago, people are very hung up on the piece of paper where they studied, you know, and did I get a bachelor's degree from a really top-ranking university? Employers don't care about this anymore. What employers care about is that when you go to work for their company, you can add value to their company. That's the most important thing.
Indeed, and I can sustain what you're saying. I support what you're saying because I've been to one of the European fairs in Rotterdam the last year, and I've met Coursera, you know, the guys from Coursera, and they've done some recent studies with the employers, and they were mentioning that in their statistics, they were mentioning that employers, they are not looking anymore at exactly the name of the university or the level of knowledge that you know, that it's more about how you present yourself, what kind of knowledge you do, but how you develop yourself in the character with the personality that is needed for that kind of job. So
absolutely, but as long as the programs that you're studying with a university or a college are validated and accredited properly. So all bachelor's degrees in Ireland are accredited by and validated by QQI, which is the Quality Control Institute, the national framework of education in Ireland. So whether you study at Griffith College or whether you study at University College Cork or whether you study at Atlantic Technology University, it's a bachelor's level 8 honours degree validated by QQI studying at whatever college you go to.
Okay, so after I graduate at Griffith, I can go to have my master's anywhere in the world?
Absolutely. So that's another thing. So some students maybe want to go to a top-ranking university and they can't get in right now because their qualifications maybe don't meet entry requirements. So they sometimes will use Griffith College or other colleges to do their bachelor's degree and then to go back to their first choice to do their master's program.
Super. Ray, thank you very much for...
Mulțumesc, thank you.
Cu plăcere. Thank you for being here with us. We gave very valuable information to our students and to our parents, and for sure they are going to take an informed decision about your school.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Așadar, dacă vă doriți să studiați la una dintre cele mai mari universități din Irlanda, o universitate care oferă burse academice și care oferă un raport calitate-preț foarte bun și care îți oferă și șanse foarte mari de angajare pe o piață care nu este atât de ocupată în prezent, îți recomand să ne scrii sau să vorbești direct cu Ray și să afli mai multe informații despre această universitate. Te aștept cu întrebările tale.